Hello YouTube, my name is Darren and my amateur radio call sign is N4VFR. Hey, if you're new to my channel, please consider to subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, and click on that like button and the notification button so you get alerts on new videos that I post on YouTube. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the ExpertSDR software for your SunSDR software-defined radios. Stay tuned. But first, let me have a sip of coffee.
Welcome to my desktop. We're going to download the software for the software-defined radio. So go to your favorite web browser and do a search for ExpertSDR.com. Once you go to the home page, what you need to do is go to this drop-down tab, Software, and then the first drop-down is ExpertSDR3. Click on that, and it's going to bring you to the download page. The latest version we have for download is this version here, ExpertSDR3, and it's version 1.0.5. the beta release. So I'm operating a Windows operating system, and you just click on the download Windows, or if you're doing a Mac, you can use the download Mac. But click on your operating system, and the latest version we have is 1.0.5 beta. It's a beta release. It's like a pre-release version. In December of 23, they plan on finalizing this, so it would be called ExpertSDR3 version 1. Do a right mouse click and then click on download. Down in the bottom right, you see here it says preparing a download. It's actually zipping the file, and when it's done, you're going to go to your downloads folder and unzip it. In your downloads folder, you'll have a file right here that's a compressed zip file. What we want to do, we want to right mouse click on that file and then extract all. Choose your directory where you want to extract your file. I'm just going to delete all this other stuff and then just call it 1.0.5 beta and then extract it. So let it do its thing. Okay, it's complete. Mine pops up another window. So this is the actual folder, and let's double click on that folder, and this is what you see. Here's a setup. It has 3 files. This application file, that's for the Windows. This DMG file, that's for the Mac operating system, and I think this file right here is for Linux. Okay, so use the one that says the beta setup, right mouse click, run it as an administrator. It brings this window, click on more info, and then run it anyways. Click yes when you get a pop-up, and it's going to install. Choose your language. Hey, an old version of the app was detected. Do you want to uninstall it? Yes. I have an older version of ExpertSDR3, so it's going to uninstall it. Here's a question. Are you sure you want to completely remove ExpertSDR3? and all its components, just click yes. ExpertSDR3 was successfully removed from your computer. And then now it's going to start to install. This is the license agreement. Accept that, click next. And this is where you want to install the file. And click next. And that's the name of the folder, or the folder it's going to create. Click next. I want to create a shortcut on my desktop, so put a check mark there. Next. And then install. Hi, baby.
I want to eat.
What do you want?
I want to eat.
You want to eat? Okay. Give me 1 second, and I'll help you with our lunch. All right, so you get this pop-up here, Microsoft Visual C++. Agree to that terms, scroll down to the bottom, and then install it. Okay, so the Microsoft Visual C++ has been successfully installed, and then you must restart your computer. So let me restart. I'll be right back. We restarted the computer because Microsoft C++ that install, it wanted us to reboot it. And this is the 4 icons that was installed to my desktop. So let's start the ExpertSDR3. Just double click on it. Make sure your radio is turned on. That's my SunSDR2DX right there. Here you go, it's starting. Okay, so what you see here, this is your remote. Oh, it's called a device manager. This is a device manager. And that's my login. So I can just log in. This is for remote operations. There we go. I'm successfully authorized. So I'm just going to minimize this and move this aside. And this is how you can connect to your radio remotely. So if you need a firmware update, you just click on this little firmware manager, that little gear icon at the bottom right there. It would tell you if you needed to update your firmware. So that is correct. Let me minimize that. And then let me show you the ExpertSDR. Let me fit it on screen. But how do I know I got the latest version? Let me take a look. Let's go click on About. Here it is. You click on this little icon, the little eye up there in the upper right area, and then this is what pops up. ExpertSDR3 and version 1.0.5 beta. So this is it. Let's go to 10 meter band. Let me turn down the audio. Sounds horrible. Let me tune up. Now, keep in mind, I'm not the pro at this excuse me. I'm not a pro at this SDR, the ExpertSDR3. All right, so you're hearing the noise. Let me turn that down. Let's find 20 meters. Okay, I'm tuning. SWR is 1.01. It must be automatic gain control. There you go. Oh, so we're on 20 meters. Here's some activity. The audio doesn't sound good. Okay, that's my line out. I need that to be on. Let me shut it down. It doesn't sound clear. It's something is wrong. So let me just shut it down and then restart it. If you can't get it to run, sometimes on your, let me move my camera image. Sometimes down here in the bottom right, you got this little up arrow, show you hidden icons. Click on that. Right here, click on that, and then you got these pop-ups. EESDR is right there. That's the icon. So just click on that, and then I can restart it here. Okay, upper sideband. Now I don't have no signals. 10 meters. I'm just tuning. 1.01. I ran into this problem before. You see, you might get this thing here, and I think that's something dealing with the firmware. So let me troubleshoot this together. All right, we're going to close this out. It has something to do with the firmware, I think. So let's take a look. Refresh this. Okay. It auto started. All right, close this. The firmware manager's right here. Please close all expert instances and then run the firmware manager. Okay. All right, so it's here. Take a look. If you ever experienced that anomaly of what we just saw with that horrific noise, the audio was bad, and then we got that signal like an interference, check your firmware. So here we go. when we checked it earlier, remember there was no updates. So here we go. We're just going to click on firmware. I heard the SunSDR2DX. I made a little clicking sound in one of those relays. And it's done. And then close that out. And let's restart the software. Minimize this. Okay. The clicking went away. We're getting signals. Let me retune. Tune is good. We have some signals here. Let me turn up the audio.
So I have to keep everything kind of respectable, as they say. Waiting on getting a new amplifier, which I just ordered a day or so ago, and hope to get a little more power here, as they say. Hi. Your report was that.
Okay, let me adjust this. You might be getting feedback because of my noise gate is kind of open, and it's picking up the audio from my speakers.
W7RAT, W3GMT.
Okay, I just tightened it up, so you shouldn't get any kind of feedback from my speakers to my microphone. Now, you notice that the audio is a lot better now, right? This signal's weak.
I understand, Michael. Certainly, by all means. I just turned on the radio. I'm just going to tune up and down.
Noise reduction.
W7RAT, have a great upcoming weekend from W3 Golf Mike Tango.
Here's another signal here.
Daily on this frequency of 28.380 megahertz, except on Sundays. And all nets do begin at 1800 hours Zulu, or as some people say, Universal Coordinated Time. This net was formed in 1962, and the primary purpose is to promote activity and good operating practices on the 10-meter amateur band. We also exchange 1010 numbers, VP numbers, counties and states, and there are numerous rewards that can be attained through 1010 International. This is a directed open net.
I gotta tighten up my noise gate because I see it that's picking up the signals of the my speakers.
If you would like information about the 1010 net, we have a website that we can direct you to, or information can be mailed directly to you. So if you're ready to join our group, we will help you select the 10 contacts that are needed to qualify for membership into the 1010 International Net.
Okay, let me stop that. Yeah, so it's working now. See, I had an anomaly coming from the EESDR version 2 to the EESDR version 3. So you got to do that firmware update. Let's back up a little bit. If you just bought a new radio or a used radio, a SunSDR radio, a software-defined radio, let me show you where to go. I can help you. Can have the connection. So go to my channel. This is my channel. Okay, and then go to my playlist. In my playlist, look for SunSDR2DX and then view my full playlist there. In here, you can see various videos I made for the SunSDR2. So here's the one I'm talking about. You can't connect to the SunSDR2 how to reset the SunSDR2 DX and assigning an IP address. So take a look at that video if you can't connect to your SunSDR radio. Cool. Another thing, where do you find the manuals for this software? Again, go to your favorite web browser and type ExpertSDR.com. Go to the software, ExpertSDR3. Here under the documentation, and that's where you find the manual. ExpertSDR3 User Manual version 1.1.0. And that's been updated on September 2023. Now, if you want to operate remote control on your SunSDR2, here's your download. This is for Windows, then you got your Linux, and then you can use a Raspberry Pi. But that's pretty cool. I haven't really done any research on that, but there's probably people out there that that knows how to do that. So let's go ahead and let's set up for a remote system operation. So let's click on this. It's downloading. I've already downloaded. That's why you got the zip and the file number, and in the brackets you got 1. So I've already downloaded this before. Go to your downloads folder. All right, so in the downloads folder, you would see Windows 64 2022 1028. So I've downloaded it already, but I'm just going to go ahead and reinstall it. So do a right mouse click and then extract all and use the default folder and extract it. I'm going to close out the old folder because the new one's on top. All right, so this is the folder now. There's a application called Starter and Run Me. I think that's what we need to start there. That's a batch file, Run Me. So I'm going to do a right mouse click to Run Me and then run it as the administrator. You're going to get this warning here from Windows. Just click on More Info and then run it anyways. And if you want to get the manual for the remote operation, it's right there. Click this link and it pops up. It actually opens it up, and then you would have to save it to your desktop. But I'm not going to go over this on how to actually set this up. The video is going to be way too long. So you do all this process. Like, remember you saw my login. I was logging in. Follow that process. Okay, it's all there. It's pretty long. And how many pages? It's only 8 pages. So just follow it step by step. And hey, this is an important one. You need to save this on your web browser in order to operate this remote. Okay, so I'm going to back up there. Then again, that's located at the bottom right here, where we downloaded the software for the Expert Remote System. So what's going on? Let me close out the ExpertSDR. We did the Run Me batch. Oh, there's something down here. Let me click on it. All right, so do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Click yes. And let's see what else happens. Run me config. I did the run me. Let me just do the starter application. Right mouse click on starter and then run it as an administrator. And then more info, click run anyways. Click yes. This is a very important thing to have that starter. That starter right there you just saw. Let me close this out. Because what happens, I also saved it up here, the starter, right here. I just double click on that. And this is very important that this starter connects successfully. Do not X out of here or else you will not get the remote capabilities. So what I normally do is I just do a minimize. So that brings it down to the bottom icon table. So now I got 2. I only need 1. You see? Minimize. So that's there. And then let me move my picture up. Down at the bottom right, you got that up arrow. Let's open up ExpertSDR3. When I successfully logged in, these buttons here, the circular thingies, you can actually click on those. Take a look. That's my server port 50040. And we are using the Expert Software 1.0.5 beta. So let's say, I'm not going to auto start this. Let's say that you want to remote into this computer or the SunSDR2 DX. It needs to be connected to a computer, right? On another laptop, say like this laptop I got here, we're going to try to connect to the SunSDR2 through another laptop. One other thing. Let me move this aside. One other thing I want to show you. Go to your folders. In your folders, try to find a startup. Okay, I'm not sure where that's located here. Follow this path. Let's go. It goes to your C drive, your local C drive, program data, Microsoft Windows, start menu, program. Under program, you find startup. So I'm back down to program startup. I'm going to do a right mouse click, pin to quick access. Another thing I notice here is it's subdued. It's not visible. So if you don't see your program data, perhaps go to view and then it's hidden files. Where is it at? Right here. You got the hidden items. It might be unchecked for you. Make sure you put a check box there. This is very important because when you reboot your computer or you do a remote reboot using a program called TeamViewer. Here's TeamViewer. You can actually remote into your computers and then do a remote reboot. So that's pretty neat. So that's how you start that up. Let me close this out. So that's important. You also need to load, I think you need to load this program on the laptop in order to operate remote. So for now, let me pause this video and I'm going to set up my Dell laptop to operate. No, matter of fact, I'm going to use, not my Dell, I'm going to use the MacBook. This is my MacBook. And I'm going to record OBS so you can see my process of setting that up for remote operations. Okay, we need to make sure that your firewall, if you're using Windows, it allows the TCP and UDP to pass through. So there's two things we need to look at. And I have a video on this already, but I'll just add it onto this video. So go to your search, and then you're going to type in allow an app through Windows Firewall. Okay, you see it populated right there. We're going to click on that. There's two files or programs. There are two programs that we need to verify that the public, right here, the public and the private has check marks. The two files are called ExpertSDR3. Okay. Let's go ahead and check. Put a check mark in there. Oh, before you change, you got to click on change settings first. So here's ExpertSDR3. Put a check mark here, and also ExpertSDR3. I got two of them. And put a check mark there. Okay. So that's done. The second file or program is called SDR application. So look for SDR applications. Let's see. Here it is. SDR applications and two check marks. All right. Very good. And then click OK. The next thing is we need to make a pass-through for the UDP and TCP. We go down to your search again and then type Windows Defender. Here it is. Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security. Click on that. So what we need to do, we need to check both the inbound rules and then the outbound rules. I've already made it. It's right here. EESDR3 TCP pass-through and also EESDR3 UDP pass-through. And this is how you do it. For the inbound, make sure that's highlighted. You're going to type in or click on this link, not link, but this new rule. Click on that. We're going to select port. Next. Let's do everything TCP first. We're going to specify those ports, and this is very important that you use these numbers, and no other program that you're running are using these ports. If they are, you're going to have a conflict and it won't work. So it's 50051 through 50053. Click on next, and then you want to allow the connection. Next. Leave everything here checked. Next. And then you want to create a name for this pass-through. Like remember I showed you right here, EESDR TCP pass-through. You can label it the same thing. EESDR3 TCP pass-through. I'm going to label this as number 2 because I already have it listed. Click finish. All right, so there it is. That's for the TCP. And then you got to do one for the UDP. Okay, so do the same process for the inbound, and then also you got to do it for the outbound. All right, let me show you the UDP version. All right, so we're going to do the inbound rules again. New rules, port, next, and we're going to select UDP and then specify those same port ranges, 50051 through 50053. Click next. Allow the connection. Next. 3 boxes checked. Next. Label it. We're going to label this. Now this is a UDP. EESDR UDP pass through. And I'm going to label it as 2 because I already have it, remember? So that's it. So that's the inbound for TCP and the UDP. And you do the same thing for the outbound. Let me just do one rule. All right, so highlight the outbound rules and click it, the new rule. And then it's going to be port next. TCP first, okay. We're going to type 50051 through or dash 50053. Next. Allow the connection. Next. The 3 boxes are checked, domain, private, and public. Next. Now you label it. And I will label this one EESDR3 TCP pass through, and this is number 2. Click finish. And that's the outbound rule. Do the same thing for the UDP. And next out. So that's important that you allow those protocol communications to go to your radio, to your computer from the outside of the network.
I also want to mention, when you're setting up your laptop, also allow the pass-through for the EESDR software if you need it, and also the UDP and TCP, the 50051 through 50053. So yeah, do it again also for your laptops. All right, cool. I'm on my MacBook Pro now, and we're on the Expert ESDR website. We're going to go to Software, ExpertSDR3, and let's take a look. This is for the server, okay? So I'm not going to download that. I'm just going to download the ExpertSDR3 version 1.0.5 for the Macintosh computer, Mac OS. So click on that. Here's the download at beta 1.0.5 beta. Double click on that. And we got to download the DMG. So I'm going to do a right mouse click and download. And let's download anyways. Here's the download progress. Okay, it's completed. So what I need to do is I need to go to my Finder and then go to Downloads. And here it is. Today's date at 12:55 this afternoon. I'm going to right mouse click this one and open. All right, so here are the applications. It's kind of different from a MacBook
MacBook or Macintosh standpoint. So to get all these applications, remember those 4 software that was on my desktop? So what I need to do is I need to take these and drag it to the application folder. And I'm going to replace it because I already have an older version on there. Let's just replace it. Do the same thing for radio sync. Replace it. And radio macros. And radio spot. So I'll go to my application folder and then I would see those 4 programs. It's an alphabetical order. Here's radio macro, radio spot, radio sync, and then I need to go to E. ExpertSDR3. And now close this out, close this out. All right, so go to my application, ExpertSDR3, 1 click of that. Now it's down to the bottom. I'm going to do a right mouse click and I want to go to options. I want to keep in the dock. It's verifying right now. Okay, and then cancel that. What did I do? Minimize this. Minimize this. Let's reopen it. All right, so when you get this error here, developer cannot be verified, there's some things I need to do. I think you go to system settings. I need to find security. Privacy and security. All right, down here, allow application downloaded from, here it is, ExpertSDR3 was blocked from use because it's not from an identified developer. We got to open it anyways. Okay, I use my password, and then let's open it. Close this out. So I gave it permission to open up ExpertSDR3. And here it comes. All right, so remember what I told you earlier when you looked at the remote manual on how to set it up? You got to have this URL typed in there, cloud.eesdr.com:5450. Log in. I'm logged in successfully. Now let me refresh. Okay, so we're going to log in to my SunSDR2 remotely. We're using the Mac as my remote control. You can see here I'm moving my Macintosh. Let me turn on the display. Let me log into this computer. Okay, so what you're seeing here is this is my computer. I have that device manager still open, or I can minimize it, and the SunSDR2 is still on. You got to leave that radio on in order to operate remote. All right, so I'm going to start the software now. Okay, move this down here. Out the way. Let's put the left corner. And let's turn it on. I heard my radio turn on. Clicked on. But there are signals. And take a look. Remember I showed you that little chain link and that lightning bolt? That means you're connected via the internet or your home network. That's it. Go to 20 meters. 20 meters. I'm on a tune. Tuner's on. Let me go to 40 meters. Tune. And you can hear the tuner tuning. SWR is 1.03. AGC is an auto. Let's do it manually. Bring this down. So that's me remote controlling in to my SunSDR2.
I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I know it might be kind of lengthy, but at least you saw the process of how to do it and actually see me run into some problems in configuring or updating the firmware on the SunSDR2 DX. Hey guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, leave me a like, a comment, and also that notification bell so you get notified on new videos I post. My name is Darren, my amateur radio call sign, November 4, Victor, Foxtrot, Romeo. 73s, until next video, have a great day.